everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of Personalized Learning Nuggets of Knowledge. And today we're actually going to be talking about Flipgrid and the rubrics that are available through Flipgrid. But before we get into how you apply a rubric to Flipgrid, I actually want to talk a little bit about giving students effective feedback, because that's really what is behind utilizing a rubric. So when you are going to be giving students effective feedback, you actually want students to be working towards a target. And as they are working towards a target, they should be able to ask themselves, where am I going? Where am I now? And where do I need to go to next? And when you look at the types of questions that you are asking, or the feedback that you are asking, you want to be sure that you're looking at it through 3 different views. The first one is kind of that micro view. You want to look at the characteristics of feedback. So think about questions like, is the rubric or the assessment that I'm giving, is it descriptive? Is it timely? Is it clear? Does it focus on the work? And does the tone imply that the student is an active learner? So think of that in terms of a microscope for that really up close micro view. Then you want to pull out a little bit to the snapshot view. So this reminds us that what we need to look at feedback as a moment in time. This is this one time, this one assessment, this one piece, and it's showing where the student is right now. So what did the student learn? And what did you as a teacher learn, not only about the assignment that maybe you gave, but also about how the students interacted with that assignment. And then the final piece is that long view. And this reminds us that we need to look at the effects of feedback over time. So whereas we looked at that single snapshot, but when we start to put those snapshots together into like a photo album, what is the full picture that we're going to see about that student? So thinking about questions like, what next steps should the student take and what next steps should the teacher take? Were those steps taken, and did the learning improve as a result of the feedback and of the actions taken by the teacher and the student? So that's just kind of a quick overview about giving students effective feedback. And but now I want to show you how you can use a rubric in Flipgrid to help you with that feedback. So let's take a look at Flipgrid. Here we are in Flipgrid. I've already logged in. I've gone to one of my areas and I'm now looking at my topics. And I had just created a test Flipgrid topic for the purpose of this video. You can easily go back and edit any of your existing Flipgrid topics and add a rubric if you want to. So with the way that you get to the feedback section is you click the pencil to edit, or you can do this as you're creating it. On the right-hand side, the last word is feedback, so you can click that and it's going to bring you right down to the feedback section. So Flipgrid does provide you with basic feedback, ideas, performance, and you can choose to use it or not, but it puts it in there. But underneath basic feedback is custom feedback, where you can assign custom feedback rubrics based on your needs and the qualifications of your class. So when I click this, you can see I started one that was teaching and learning approaches, and I'm going to edit the criteria. So I gave the criteria a title. And here in the description, this is where you're going to have to get creative. This is going to be just a basic 1 through 5 rubric. And I have the minimum score as a 1, the maximum score as a 5. And I have the sample rubric right here. So this is actually the full rubric. So insightful and well-crafted response that extends beyond the obvious interpretation of the reading and continues down. You can see here I have a shortened form. And the reason I have a shortened form is because Flipgrid only allows for 120 characters in the box. So you cannot put all of that text. So I am doing a shortened form, and I would make sure that my students, whether it was in Canvas or if it was in Seesaw or whatever, however you provide your students with their with materials, I would be sure that that expanded rubric would be there so that they would be able to read the full thing. But this is more as a reminder for you to remember that these are what you're looking for. You're looking for an insightful response, a thorough response, or an adequate, it's marginal, or it's inadequate. And then you just click update. And if you're going to use it, you check that box and it will be added to your post. Now, if you were doing something like a 3x3 or a 4x4, each one of these would be its own criteria. So maybe this is about editing, maybe this is about the content, maybe this is about teamwork. Each one of those you would continue to add a criteria and then just check them off and add them. And when you're done, you just update the topic and it would be ready for folks to respond. And then when someone has submitted a response, you would be able to go in and actually attach the rubric to it and grade them and give them feedback. And only they see the feedback that you provide on their response. So I hope that helps and shows you a tool that you maybe didn't know was available. And if you've been using Flipgrid and you want a way to assess it, then this is a nice way to be able to add some customization to Flipgrid. Again, if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments, and I will see you next time.